We are here with Todd Daniel, and he is a special care planner from Mass Mutual, the only company that has a program that's specifically tailored to train people to be able to deal with the realities of special needs families, which I think is remarkable. We have to start with that. That's absolutely remarkable. And you were saying before the break that you're not a fee-based situation, so you can have a consultation to start to begin to plan.
Correct.
But I think people immediately, I'm a special needs parent, and I immediately go, what are they going to ask? What am I going to have to do? What am I going to have to... So let's talk a little bit about, if you do the consultation, Todd, what happens? What do I need to know as a parent to be ready for that?
Well, basically, when we sit down, we're going to talk and answer any of your questions that you might have. The process, again, we gather data, we analyze it, and here's the key thing. When we're talking to a typical family, now they need to do the planning too.
Yeah.
They need to have the same discussions, whether it's education planning, retirement planning, weddings, whatever it might be. So that discussion is there with any family.
Right.
The difference would be is ideally, when the typical child is 18 and they go to college and they get a job and they get married and they move on, when we're talking with special needs families, a lot of times that won't happen. Right. So there's a lifetime need for care.
Right.
That's where we have to really put the strategy to work. That's where we have to develop whether or not and analyze whether the person will need a special needs trust or not. If so, how are we going to fund it? Are we going to fund it with your assets today? Are we going to use life insurance? What are we going to do? The other problem is to make sure that none of the special needs children are the beneficiaries of any of the current plans. Now, this is very key, and it comes up a lot of times with the 529 education plans.
Okay.
You have one for your child, let's say.
Okay.
You're the owner, the child is the beneficiary, and you've been saving for years now, and let's say there's $10,000 in it. Well, if something happened to you, your son would now inherit that $10,000. Well, guess what? We know that the $2,000 limit for government benefits could be in danger right now. So we have to make sure and guide you to make sure that none of these plans have a child as a beneficiary. Okay. So certain nuances like that, retirement plans, God forbid something happened to you, your child can't inherit $250,000 from your 401k, especially if they're over 18, they're living in a group home, they're on government benefits, they'll lose all their benefits. Okay. So this is a lot of the education that we do, not just the number crunching and the planning. So that's the important thing, is to make sure that today everything's set up as best as possible, and then we move forward with the client.
Okay, so I don't have to already know what the answer is when I sit down to have the discussion with you guys. You're going to open the discussion up and you're going to give me the information to make the informed decision.
Correct.
I think that's important.
I'm sorry, we're here just to educate.
Okay.
I can't make the decision for you. Right. I will lay out the map. You choose A, B, C. You also might just say, Todd, thank you for your time, and I'm not interested.
Right.
Okay. And I just hope that I've informed you, and I hope that at least maybe you can introduce me to somebody else that might be wanting to do the planning process.
Because we all need to do this at some point. I was thinking about this morning in conjunction with something else, that whole thing about failure to plan is planning to fail.
Correct.
And we know that that's not an option with our kids. And our kids are not one size fits all. They're all different kinds. I mean, I had shared with you the other day that my plan for my child is that he is going to go off to college. My hope is that he is going to be gainfully employed, but I still have to get him to that point, and I still have a responsibility to build in that if he might be employed, but he might need support. And that's on me to figure that out. And I haven't yet. I'm just going to be honest with everybody that I have not figured that out yet. And I had mentioned that to you, that I'm sort of that target audience that I know I need to do it, but I'm scared.
Sure. There is the number one problem that we have with getting parents to step forward is out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. I don't want to think about it. I can't think about it. If I don't think about it, it's never going to happen. And I understand. In a lot of the seminars that I give, I have parents that are starting to tear up. They start to cry because they're thinking about, oh my God, who's going to take care of my child? And we're not assuming that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But accidents do happen.
Yeah.
And we need a plan for that.